again, if you watch that game down in Jacksonville this weekend, you know exactly why I came back buzzing. There was just so much to like. I'm talking about what I saw on the field, the little things you pick up standing on the sideline, and even the conversations I caught in the locker room afterward. And yeah, there's a certain energy you get when the guys themselves are feeling good about what just happened. Pittsburgh walked out of there with a 31-25 win, and the list of players who really stood out was long enough that I could spend an entire day breaking it down. But let's focus on the ones who made the clearest statement because they deserve some spotlight. First off, the tackles. Broderick Jones and Troy Fautanu. Both of them, not a single pressure allowed. That's not just clean football. That's dominance up front. When you've got your bookends locking things down like that, the rest of the offense can breathe. And Mason Rudolph? He came in looking calm, confident, and razor sharp. 9 completions on 10 attempts, 84 yards, and 3 of those completions went for 15 yards or more. He even capped one drive with a 19-yard dart to Darnell Washington that looked like it could have punched a hole through the air. It was just 2 series for that group, but it was 2 series where everything clicked. And speaking of Darnell, the guy barely has to move to create problems for defenders. On that touchdown, the poor cornerback covering him looked like he was just trying to survive the play. Darnell caught it, kept rolling, and made it look like a backyard mismatch. That's what happens when you're that big, that strong, and you know exactly where you want to go. On the defensive side, Jack Sawyer had some really nice moments, but the guy who made everyone's eyes light up in the locker room afterward was Peyton Wilson. His energy is contagious, and it's not just hustle, it's smart hustle. Juan Thornhill brought the boom early with that crushing hit, but he also showed plenty beyond just one highlight. You could see the confidence, the awareness, the kind of stuff that's going to matter once we get into games that count. Now, it's important to remember this was a game without 19 of the 22 regular starters plus a few other key names. So you're looking at backups, depth guys, rookies, and a lot of players trying to prove they belong. That's preseason football. It's messy in some spots, but it's where you learn about who can handle the moment. That brings me to first round in. Pick Derek Harmon. This is where you have to be careful about judging a guy too early. Heading into camp, I said you might have a hard time evaluating him during preseason, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Stat sheet, empty. In terms of raw power and push, he seemed to get stronger in the second half, which, not coincidentally, was when Jacksonville started putting in their 3rd and 4th string linemen. Was he bad? No. But when a player is out there for most of the game, you kind of hope for that one play that makes you sit up and say, that's why they drafted him. It didn't happen here, at least not in a way that jumps off the tape. Then there's Caleb Johnson, the rookie running back. I was really hoping to see him break loose a few times because the preseason is tailor-made for a young back to show what he's got. Plenty of carries, plenty of chances against mixed competition. Instead, we got 20 yards on 8 carries, an average of just 2.5 per run. His longest? 7 yards. That was actually a nice piece of work. He got low, hit the gap, kept his legs churning, and made something happen. But it was one of the few times he found daylight. Johnson was targeted twice in the passing game. One was a flat-out drop, the kind you circle in red on film review. The other was a short 6-yard grab. Pass protection? He looked solid, which is good for a rookie, but obviously not the headline-making stuff fans are craving. Still, there's context here. The starting offensive line was only out there for the first 2 series. Johnson had 3 carries for 12 yards during that stretch, including that 7-yard run we just talked about. I actually spoke with him about that run afterward, and he broke it down in a way that made you appreciate the little details. He went right behind Zach Frazier, who opened up the lane. Johnson's the kind of back who likes to attack between the tackles. Power first, finesse second, and you could see it there. He hit the hole, bounced off a block, spun, and squeezed out an extra 3 or 4 yards. When I brought it up, he smiled, which, if you know him, is a little rare after games, and said, the best is yet to come. That tells me he knows he's not there yet, but he's got the mindset to keep pushing. And here's the thing. Adjusting from college to the NFL is like stepping from a backyard pool into the middle of the ocean. The speed, the physicality, the complexity. There's just no comparison. Every rookie goes through it, even the ones who eventually turn into stars. People love to throw out those hypotheticals about whether the best college team could beat a bad NFL team. It's nonsense. And 0-16 pro team would absolutely steamroll any college squad. And it wouldn't even be close. The gap is that big. So yeah, Johnson's got a hill to climb. Harmon's got a hill to climb. They're both figuring out how to play in a league where everyone is bigger, faster, and stronger than anyone they've faced before. And while fans are eager for instant results, there's a reason the Steelers have been clear about Jaylen Warren being their top running back going into the season. That doesn't mean Johnson won't have a role. He will. And maybe down the road, he takes that leap and surpasses Warren. But it's not happening by September 7th when they line up in East Rutherford. Now let's circle back to Mason Rudolph, because his performance deserves a deeper look. People keep saying he's not a true number one quarterback, but in this game, he made his case, at least for a day. He was efficient, decisive, and comfortable, thanks in no small part to the protection he got. Arthur Smith called a smart game for him, dialing up those throws over the middle that have always been one of Mason's strengths. One play in particular stands out, that touchdown to Darnell Washington. If you watch it from the end zone camera, you'll see Mason standing back there like he's at a Sunday picnic. Broderick Jones had the toughest assignment on that rush, and he absolutely sealed his man, giving Mason just enough time to step up and fire. The ball's gone, Darnell catches. It bulldozes the defender and falls into the end zone. And here's the best part. Mason immediately turns to Broderick, puts both hands on the sides of his helmet, and yells something with pure excitement. Broderick shouts something right back. That's chemistry. That's belief. That's two. Guys knowing they just made each other look good. It's the kind of moment you can build an offense around. Mason looks more confident now than he did a year ago, and you can feel the mutual trust between him and the rest of the group. Mike Tomlin loves that. He loves when he puts a player in a situation where they're expected to be the adult in the room and they deliver. That's exactly what happened here. And it's exactly what happened with Peyton Wilson on the defensive side. Same principle, same result. So while the scoreboard in Jacksonville told one story, the real value of a preseason game like this isn't the win or the loss. It's the snapshots you collect of who's ready, who's almost ready, and who's got a little more climbing to do. And the thing about the Steelers in this one is that they showed layers. You could see the guys who already feel like pros out there, the ones who make the game slow down. You could also see the guys who are still processing at full speed, trying to adapt to what's happening in front of them in real time. That's what these August snaps are for. Back out in Latrobe the next morning, the tempo was different. You could feel the confidence lingering from that win. Mason Rudolph, for example, walked onto the field with that subtle posture shift. The one quarterbacks get when they've just put together a clean game and earned a little more trust from their coaches and teammates. It's not arrogance. It's assurance. And in a quarterback room that has been under constant discussion for the last couple of seasons, that's not nothing. People sometimes forget that the preseason isn't just about finding out who's good. It's about building chemistry. You want that connection between quarterback and receiver, between lineman and quarterback, between the defense's front seven and the secondary. That's why that moment between Mason and Broderick Jones on the touchdown matters so much. It's not just a nice clip for social media. It's a reminder that football isn't just X's and O's. It's relationships, trust, and belief. That the guy next to you is going to do his job so you can do yours. And when you zoom out, you see the same thing happening with other units. Peyton Wilson's effort didn't just show up on the stat sheet. It set a tone for the defense. He was flying around, yes, but he was also directing traffic, communicating, making sure everyone was lined up right. For a rookie to do that? That's big. Mike Tomlin doesn't just throw guys into those situations for fun. He does it because he wants to see who can handle being the steady hand in a room full of moving parts. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors are swirling in the NFL community as Jordan Mailata, the towering offensive lineman once considered a hidden gem in Philadelphia, reportedly agrees to a contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This unexpected move could reshape the offensive line landscape in Pittsburgh, injecting fresh energy and imposing physical presence that the Steelers have long sought. Mailata's transition from Philly to Pittsburgh isn't just a simple team change. It's being seen as a game changer that could elevate the Steelers' offensive line to an entirely new level of performance and dominance. The Steelers, known for their formidable defense, have occasionally struggled to maintain consistent offensive line play, and Mailata's arrival might be the missing piece to solidify that crucial front line. Analysts speculate that his unique combination of size, agility, and raw talent could transform Pittsburgh's run game and provide much-needed protection for their quarterbacks, sparking excitement among fans and coaches alike. While no official announcement has been made, insiders suggest that this potential signing represents more than just a strategic acquisition. It signals Pittsburgh's aggressive intent to rebuild and reinforce one of the most critical units on their roster. Speculation around Mailata's move has generated a significant buzz regarding how this shift might impact team dynamics and the broader NFL competitive balance. Philadelphia, which once developed Mailata from an unconventional background into a reliable NFL starter, might face a challenging decision in replacing his massive presence on the line. Pittsburgh's coaching staff is rumored to be thrilled about the prospect, anticipating that Mailata's unique physical traits, standing at an imposing height with exceptional reach, will disrupt opposing defenses and create new offensive opportunities. There's also talk that Mailata's experience in Philadelphia's system could bring fresh techniques and insights to the Steelers' playbook, further enhancing the offensive line's cohesion and effectiveness. This kind of player movement isn't just a transactional story, but a potential shift in the power dynamics of the AFC North division, raising questions about how the Ravens and Bengals might respond to this new threat. NFL insiders hint that this deal could be a harbinger of more aggressive moves by Pittsburgh in the offseason, aiming to capitalize on Mailata's untapped potential to build a more balanced and resilient team. As the rumors gain traction, football analysts and fans are dissecting what Jordan Mailata's arrival means for Pittsburgh's offensive line strategy moving forward. Known for his blend of raw strength and surprising athleticism for his size, Mailata could serve as a cornerstone around which the Steelers design a more dominant and versatile offensive front. Observers are intrigued by how Mailata's presence might free up other linemen to excel, reducing pressure and increasing overall efficiency. Additionally, the narrative surrounding Mailata is particularly compelling because of his unconventional path to the NFL, which adds a layer of intrigue and human interest to the story. Pittsburgh's fan base is reportedly energized by the possibility of adding such a unique talent, speculating that Mailata's influence could extend beyond the field, boosting team morale and locker room spirit. The buzz also includes speculation about how the Steelers' offensive coordinator might adapt schemes to fully utilize Mailata's physical gifts, potentially creating innovative blocking schemes that leverage his strengths and neutralize opponents' defensive strategies. While still a rumor, this possible signing hints at an exciting evolution for Pittsburgh's offense. The ripple effects of Jordan Mailata's rumored move to the Steelers extend into questions about Philadelphia's plans to fill the void left on their offensive line. The Eagles, once benefactors of Mailata's rapid development and towering presence, could face a strategic crossroads. Discussions among sports commentators suggest that Philadelphia might need to aggressively pursue other linemen in free agency or draft to maintain their competitive edge. Meanwhile, the Steelers' aggressive pursuit of Mailata is seen as a statement of intent, signaling a shift towards building a more robust and physically imposing offensive line to protect their quarterbacks and bolster their running game. The murmurs around NFL circles hint that Pittsburgh's front office has been quietly working behind the scenes to secure talent that fits their vision of a gritty, resilient team that can compete at the highest levels. This potential acquisition, therefore, is not just about Mailata's abilities, but about a larger strategic overhaul that could influence the Steelers' fortunes for seasons to come. It's a storyline filled with anticipation and uncertainty as fans await confirmation and look forward to seeing how this possible addition could transform Pittsburgh's identity on the gridiron. If the rumors are true, Jordan Mailata's signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers might represent one of the more intriguing and impactful moves of the NFL offseason. The Steelers could be on the verge of significantly upgrading their offensive line, providing a critical foundation for their offense that has sometimes struggled with consistency and protection issues. Mailata's unique blend of size and agility is expected to create matchup nightmares for defensive linemen and linebackers across the league, potentially changing the course of games by enabling a more dynamic and powerful running attack. Beyond physical attributes, there's speculation about how Mailata's mental approach and work ethic, honed during his time in Philadelphia, will mesh with Pittsburgh's culture and coaching philosophy. The excitement and chatter surrounding this potential deal underscore the unpredictable and fast-moving nature of NFL roster construction, where a single player's move can trigger a cascade of changes and reactions across the league. While official confirmation is awaited, the possibility of Jordan Mailata becoming a human wall for the Steelers captures the imagination of fans and analysts alike, sparking hopes that this signing could herald a new era of offensive dominance. For Pittsburgh, that's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.